Wow.
and you don't want your kids to have to move to another town because there's no houses here. And I hear a lot of people say that, like, hey, now my kids have to move far away, and that they get old and then they either move close to their kids because they can't afford, there's nothing here, there's a shortage, prices go up, and then you know they're moving out, and we need to have growth. We have to manage it right so that way you know everyone succeeds.
You've hit on something that on personal level, um, that's been a frustration that's been shared with me. I pastor a church, so all of the decisions that I make run through that lens of what do the people that I pastor say to me and what are they struggling with, because they're very representative of what lives in Lake Wales. And one of the things frustrations is our kids don't stay here unless they're part of what I of a legacy family in Lake Wales that has a well-established business of some sort. Lake Wales is a city, and you're right. It would be wonderful if we would make this a place that kids not only wanted to stay, but they enjoy staying.
Yeah, because they're going to Lakeland, Tampa, Orlando. It's true. I see people, it's like, yeah, my kids, they're going out to other places. They love to hear, they want to stay, but there's nothing for them. Yeah. Your authority within the town, versus what you have control over, or what the commission has control over, and what the commission doesn't have control over. Also explain, the challenges you've had with the city and the county, like dealing with the growth and dealing with everything in town.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, that's a great question. And I think that oftentimes some of the frustration that our folks feel is that they don't understand that. So the city of Lake Wales has to deal with four different governing agencies. You've got the city government, you've got the county government, you got the state government, and you got federal government. And all of them have some realm of authority within this area. The City Commission of Lake Wales really only has direct authority over everything that's within the established city limits, which is not as large as people think. Just because you have a Lake Wales address doesn't mean you're in the city of Lake Wales. So the service area where you have Lake Wales addresses has a population of about 30,000 people, but within Lake Wales proper is about 16,000. And then most of the roads that that run through Lake Wales are not city roads. For instance, Highway 27, Highway 60, Buckmore Road. Um, all of those are either state highways or county roads. And so the county and the state have to make all of the improvements and all of the upgrades on those. We only can do city roads, Bryn Mawr, Tillman, Park, streets that within our city. And actually, in the last few years, for the first time in quite a number of years, because our property values have risen because of new development, we've been able to fully fund resurfacing of projects, and we resurfaced 23 miles of city road. We're going to finish most of those up in 4 years. Almost every city repaved and but then second, we have state highways, and then we have federal government that is involved here. So I'll give you a big example of one of the things we'll see. The Grove Manor area, the Grove Manor housing area of Lake Wales, which is a pretty large part of the city, is going to go through a major renovation and rebuild, but that's all HUD, which is a federal agency. Now we've helped our local HUD agency qualify for grant, kicking in a little city money to make them more attractive federally, and we can do that. But all of that work is being done by the federal, or seen by the federal government, and so, but it's right in the heart of our town, so people will automatically assume. In fact, I've already fielded a few emails asking about that project, and it's not something that the city of Lake Wales has control over. So there's a lot of complexity there.
I think a lot of the complaints people have are more stuff that's county. Yeah, county.
I'll give you an example. I had a gentleman reach out to me this last week. He's very upset because he has trouble making a left turn out of his development, which is Buckmore Road. It's been there a long time. And he was upset because there's a lot of new development coming in along Buckmore, but why are there no turning lanes? Why are there no lights? And while I sympathize with him, what I had to say to him is, when the city of Lake Wales approves a development, we send it up to the county and the state for concurrency studies. The county and the state have to study the levels on county roads and determine what work has to be done to accommodate those. If they feel like we don't meet concurrency, they won't let us build subdivision. If they do, it's up to them to demand the improvements, lights from the developer, terms these lanes, lights, all that happens at a different. Yeah, Robbins. There's like some late landing or 3 days. It has certainly increased the traffic on that road. So any work that's road is done, that's determined at a county level.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that's really important for people to know what where the fault falls, and because if it's something that city could do, they're gonna really try to implement it. But when it goes to the county, they don't really hear small local. It's kind of hard to them at such a smaller level. I would say.
I think our county can try and listen, but even to some degree, what I say is there are some things they probably answer to higher. It is more away from the impact, less attention you pay to it. So, commission.
Yeah, and that's actually good to know. Really important to know. Yeah, here's a question from the public. From the Facebook group. It says more and more people are unnecessary actually turn into fatalities on our roads. What is our plan to reduce this? It's like it's laid out towards 60, which I believe, but within the city, what I don't think we have too many within the cities.
I don't think so. I say that without having looked at any statistics. But again, the only priority even First Avenue is not a city road, which is one of the roads that there's a lot of speed in a lot of problems on. All I can say about that is what we can do. Within our schools here right now, red especially where kids are preparing for that. So that's what we do on this level. Talk what I would say, folks, is from those cities that are growing very rapidly, which is another reason why you should probably want your city to be more aggressive about annexing the financial benefit.
No, for sure.
about taking over maybe the operation of their water supplies. So that increases our capacity, and those things are all in the works. They've not taken place, but we're doing that. But where we stand right now, actually, Lake Wales is positioned better than I think any other municipality in the county. We're way under our capacity. Even if we were to build every house that's in the pipeline, which you and I probably know probably won't happen, we're not projected to reach capacity till 2032. And then we can buy into the Polk Regional Water Cooperative. It's just at that point prices will go way up. And I will tell you that there are municipalities in our county that have already exceeded their pumping, and they've had to put a moratorium on all their building because they have no solutions to that problem.
Yeah, I know I've seen utilities at other counties where their water bill, their electric water bill is just so high.
Yeah.
And I am happy that Lake Wells is
So far,
fairly low
so
compared
far,
to
well.
other,
So far, it's been pretty well.
and that's good. And I also noticed on the Lake Wells, the City of Lake Wells website, there is rebates for homeowners, and is I'm not sure for renters, but for homeowners to get up to $1,000 if to for irrigation and for interior.
And I think that was all part of one of the significant things we did last year was that 5-star water certification program. And again, like I said, we were the first city in the county to do that.
Yeah, that's really good. And all what's nice is all the new developments. They are really energy efficient. Really, they conserve a lot, and it's trust me, it makes a big difference when you get a big house a month on electricity. You're paying 150, $200 maybe. So, and then we talked a question every
Yeah.
it's a little bit about where the splash pad is going to be, and how soon are we going to get that?
Okay, here's I can't answer it and try and be real honest about it. We're going to have one. I think I said earlier, one of the things I'm really excited about is that we just finished the Parks and Rec master plan. And again, this is one of the things that I appreciate about our city administration, and I think we've done well. We don't just say, "Hey, we need a splash pad, and let's slap it up here," or let's every time some place opens up, let's put a splash pad there. Well, the problem with that is it's really good on the front end, then long term it becomes detrimental because it wasn't well planned. So we really try and think through how we're going to do this. So Parks and Rec's master plan was finished and adopted by our commission this year, and it calls for a $28 million investment in all of our parks, in city parks, and quality of life recreational issues. And the splash pad is one element of that plan, and where it sits right now, or where it's Bristol Lake Park, right next to the current playground, real right off of the Park Avenue connector trail. And again, that's part of planning. Um, One of the things we have seen here is that Lake Wales is a beautiful location in our city. Wonderful events are held down there. Pioneers Days, the Arts Festival, the Orange Blossom Review, that bring thousands of visitors into our city. But Lake Wales feels disconnected from our downtown. So we've been working intentionally to connect that to downtown. And the Park Avenue Connector Trail, which we just cut the ribbons on year before last, was one step in that direction. And the splash pad will be right off of that Park Avenue Connector Trail as you're walking towards the downtown area.
That's exciting. And it grow.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard a lot about it. I hear people great thing for our city, but it's in the works.
Yeah, and that's it's good that where you have it set because it will connect the events to bring business downtown, and then it'll have that bridge for everyone.
I want to make sure that I do say this. We stick pretty close to those plans, but everyone knows that you start off. It may not be exactly like that, but that's the plan. And usually, what I've seen here is that once we do that, we stick pretty close to them. Yeah.
And that's good because I've seen it on. I think in the first Lake Wells Envision plan, it was like totally different location
Yeah.
where they had the splash pad, and I was like, that doesn't make sense at all. But having it closer in the middle doesn't make more sense. Now, here's another question from a citizen in Lake Wells: Is Florida Natural has been a huge employer for many residents in Lake Wells. How vital is it to keep agricultural going? How would you promote it so that people can continue to earn a livable wage?
Yeah, Lake Florida's Natural has been the anchor of the city. Citrus has been the anchor of the city for a long time. In fact, I just had a conversation with a Grove owner a couple of weeks ago that was sharing with me that at one point, and maybe just very recently, it represented $30 million annually to the local economy of Lake Wales, and that is Florida's Natural a few years ago was squeezing 16 million boxes of juice annually, and now it's down to about 2 million boxes of juice annually. So it's a real concern, and so that's why it is so vital that our city become attractive to other things. We have to diversify. I hate to say these things, but they're just reality. Citrus is not going to come back to where it was. So we've got to find other sources of high level, high income employment. This last year, we landed Advanced Drainage Systems, which is building one of their. It looks like it's going to be their national headquarters outside of Columbus, their second hub, right here in the city of Lake Wales, and they're the largest manufacturer of underground plastic water pipes. When that gets built, they're building on 100 acres down on Hunt Brothers Road. And when it gets built out, they're going to have about 300 jobs that pay well over the current median income of the area of Lake Wales. So that's one. And I will tell you that they went through a lot with some citizens who really resisted them coming and hung in there. So what I would implore people to do is think about that. How do we bring in other diversify that our income? Because ag, the citrus industry, want to be the backbone. That
No, for sure. I think the news came up with the fear from the train wreck, and then the other. It was the timing was
I think that that's somewhere those were real. Those were genuine concerns, and people just didn't have action in the city that just blatantly lied about it. And I understand that, shut it down, and it that would have been terribly detrimental to our city.
wow. Yeah, I know for sure because I think I saw online they were they're offering starting people off around $60,000 around that price point.
Yeah, the hourly wage for someone who starts as a line worker there.
More jobs to our city.
Hello, everybody. hmm No, family, we're just analyzing the Curtis and Jack running from mayor of Lake Wells. We're just doing a digital analytics case study here at Urban Matters BMG.